We will discuss about love. Love and Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti means devotion. Now I told you the other day that Arjuna was Krishna's friend, disciple and devotee. There is a difference between disciple and a devotee. Do you understand the difference? What is the difference between disciple and a devotee?
Disciples like his student and his teaching, and then his devotee is just somebody that is following and loving.
Yes. A disciple could just mean somebody who's learning strict philosophy and just taking the knowledge and going away. Yes, there will be some, in Indian context, there will be some aspect of respect towards the teacher. A devotee is somebody who has offered complete surrender. A disciple may not offer. So Arjuna was Krishna's disciple and devotee both. We saw yesterday in the 3rd chapter, Arjuna says that I am really confused with the big words that you use. What is it that you really want me to say? Say it so that I understand. That is disciple saying. And then later chapter, Arjuna says, I am surrendered to you, or Krishna says, surrender to me. That is for the devotee. If you find somebody, if you meet somebody to whom you can be devoted, that's a beautiful way of experiencing love. Because in devotion, there is a magic of surrender. And in surrender, there is a magic of ego that is just sitting, not working. Surrender itself means your ego has gone so, they say vestigial form. Do you understand what means vestigial form? Vestigial form means, like in cold countries, in summer, what is happening to the winter clothes? Folded and kept away. You have not thrown them away. You have folded and kept it away. When November comes or October comes, the clothes are out, you can use them. So vestigial form means it's gone in, but still it can work. Like a volcano that can erupt any moment. Potentiality is not gone. Like we saw in the 3 states of sleep. In the deepest state of sleep is which? Awakened state, dream state, deep sleep state. In deep sleep, the ego is in the vestigial form. Why? When we wake up, our ego, we are back in the ignorance. Same way, the ego is consciously made vestigial or small. Now in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, a very beautiful thing happens, is that Arjuna is a little more confused by the time he comes to the 12th chapter. Arjuna says, now Krishna, I don't understand. That you have told me philosophical things also, you have told me to work as a karma yogi also, you have told me to work with devotion also. So which of the disciple is really close to you? Which is the quickest way of reaching you? एवं सतत युक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरम व्यक्तम तेषां के योग वित्तमा. Those who worship you as the unbound reality, and those who worship you in your name and form, which of these two disciples is closer to you? This is beautiful, such an innocent doubt. You see, you can see Arjuna is still in comparison. He still wants to know which is the best way, which is. He's a soldier, no? He's an archer. He was made to fight. He was made to compete. If Arjuna was a Brahmin, a priest, he would not ask this question. He was a warrior. He was from the warrior Kshatriya clan. And that's why he asks this. Maya Vaishyamano yemam nitya yukta upasate shraddhaya parayopetas te me yuktatamamata. He says, I think this is verse number 2. Shraddhaya parayopetas te me yuktatamamata. Shraddha. What is Shraddha? Shraddha.
Trust.
Trust. Or more faith. Faith is important. There are many teachers, or rather I would say not teachers, but masters, they would purposely test you. You must have read in Milarepa, those who are reading Milarepa. The master is testing and testing and testing and testing. See, there are 2-3 things that will happen in a disciple's mind. Number one, a disciple should say, I am doing it for the love of the master, not for myself. So his ego will increase. Number two, the disciple will say, whatever is happening, at least I am burning my karmas through these hardships. Self-consolation. This is, I am telling you, this is how the self-consolation the disciple will give. At least I am burning karmas through the hardship. My master may live or not live in the house. At least I am burning karmas. And third, consistently in the action, my ego is small. I am fighting my ego. Why? Because the ego says, I don't know if the house that I construct for my master will like it. I don't know if he likes green color on the wall. Just thinking of what Milarepa was thinking. But Milarepa says, no. I will do my best, whatever I can, in whatever expertise I have, and I will give it to my master. This is how we should work and also behave as a devotion and as a action. The reason I want to stress on this chapter is because I hear a lot of people saying, oh, I am full of love, but people take advantage of me. Oh, I have so much love to give, but people don't understand me. Oh, I have so much love to give, I am full of love, but I don't know what to do with it. Many people, especially, I don't know what happens with spiritual people. They think that if the heart is full, the mind is the enemy. Mind is not the enemy. The heart is the bullet, and the mind is the barrel through which the bullet is fired. Heart has so much energy. If you don't focus the heart through the mind, the heart's energy will be wasted. And when I say mind, I mean purified mind, not a silly, ignorant mind. Detachment is the quality of the mind. Heart has no qualities. Heart just loves. Please understand this. Heart is made to love. Heart is made only to love. Like fire, heart is like fire. Fire has such an amazing property of heat and light. If you burn fire in the night, you will get light. If you burn fire and put a potato on it, it will get cooked. If you take fire and put it under the curtain, it will catch fire and burn your own house. We should not blame the fire. What should we blame? Our intent. We should blame our mind. If we want to blame something. So please understand, the detachment, the quality is of the mind. And when the mind is not sharpened, heart will not have direction. Heart should have direction. Should. I am saying should means it will be nice if the heart has direction. If the heart does not have direction, then the yogi has to be even more responsible. You see, if the heart is directionless, the heart will give love anywhere and whoever will come to. For this, the yogi needs to be even more detached. Do you understand this? If I am sitting here with full love in my heart, and whoever comes, an insect comes, a cow comes, a dog comes, a human comes, a king comes, Obama comes, I am giving him just the love is just going. But I don't care. Why? Because mind has decided that there is no separation. If Obama and a firefly are sitting next to each other, then both will get the same amount of love from me. You see the non-attachment part? That is important. Only when your mind is sharpened, you will be able to understand that love is for the sake of love. Love is not for need. Need is of the mind. Heart just loves. Mind has needs. Heart has no need. Heart has no need. Heart just keeps loving. That's why we have to clean the mind. Many times I have heard this complaint, oh, he does not give me enough space. Who needs space? When you complain to somebody, please give me space. Ask who needs space.